Hello everybody and welcome back to our second game in this best of 2 series between No Logic Gaming versus 4 Clovers and Leprechauns. And for people that didn't tune into the previous game, 4 Clovers are going to be ahead in this series with a single win, managing to secure their first win in their first game, running a tri-core lineup and also getting away with it compared to No Logic, who decided to run a pretty aggressive draft whilst trying to maintain a Naga Siren. And unfortunately Naga wasn't quite enough to really compare against a Shadow Fiend, a Tiny, and also a Ember Spirit in the process. So 4 Clovers going to be very happy with their kills, whereas for No Logic, they're going to look into trying to even this series up with at least a win in this second game. So let's see if they're able to do it, whereas for 4 Clovers, if they can 2-0 this, that's going to be a precious 3 points going their way. And points right now are very important in these group stages. It essentially guarantees your position on the leaderboard, and you definitely want to be up at the top if you are looking into proceeding through. So let's see what we're going to be having for this game. So No Logic, they're going to be banning the Wisp straight up, so we are not going to be seeing any Wisp shenanigans, not even from them, not even for 4 Clovers, not for anybody. And this does mean that other heroes are going to be able to get through with this. Doom, Darkseer and Queen of Pain are also the choice bans by both teams, so no Doom, no Queen, no Darkseer. What can we really do about this? So they're very, very solid heroes. If you do manage to pick them up, you don't have a massive advantage, but they are just a massive hindrance. So this does let through a lot of heroes in the process though. So No Logic going to get their hands on the Slardar this time. Whereas for Tusk, obviously Tusk is going to do very, very annoying Tusky things. Very, very disruptive hero. To a certain degree, you could say that Tusk is the... I don't want to say it's a poor man's Earthshaker. Earthshaker is essentially the poor man's Tusk, but Tusk can do amazing things, especially when you know what you are going to be doing. The defensive saves, snowballs, ice shards, sigils, you can do everything with the Tusk. So if you manage to grab the Tusk, you're not going to be at a massive advantage, but it is going to be a hindrance for 4 Clovers. But for 4 Clovers though, they get the Shadow Fiend and the Dazzle. So already a very solid opening for them as well. They essentially have a guaranteed mech on the Shadow Fiend unless they go for an offlane that would typically pick that up. And considering that they don't have the Tusk, you can't really look to a Tusk for 4 Clovers to be as that mech carrier. So for the moment, Shadow Fiend looks like it's going to be their mid laner, and lots of mid bans as well coming up from 4 Clovers, wanting to ensure that their Shadow Fiend has the best possible start in that mid lane. So for No Logic, what options are really left for them? There's no Queen, there's no TA, there's no Wind Ranger. If you guys notice, for some reason, a lot of the strongest mids in the game so far are female heroes, which is really strange. But I guess that's fine. So for No Logic, not really left with too many options for that mid lane. So we'll see what they use to kind of compensate for the fact that they can't go for that standard mid. In the meantime, though, both teams are going to be grabbing heroes. Lich for No Logic. So we saw this previously for 4 Clovers. They picked up a Lich to ensure that the offlane was much easier for the Slardar. We may be seeing this offlane Slardar again for No Logic, just so that it makes the safe lane for 4 Clovers a little bit more difficult than they would have liked. Because obviously with a Lich, you can play defensively for No Logic, but there's also an opening for where you can start to be a little bit more aggressive. And obviously as slow to help the Slardar catch up to the target. Yes, please. So we'll see if this does work out for No Logic. And it looks like this might be a safe lane Slardar instead, as we see a Bane pick up here for No Logic. Very, very solid support. Typically you see the Bane though for a setup hero. But in this game, there's no one that he's really setting up for aside from potentially a Slardar Crush. So for the safe lane now for No Logic Gaming, there's a high kill potential for them. Just simply go for the Nightmare, wait for Slardar to come in, go for the Crush, hope you get bashes and potentially pick off the Clockwork that's just been secured here by 4 Clovers. So the Bane pickup, I like this. It's also going to make it a bit of a hindrance as well to the Clockwork. If he does try to come in for CS, just enfeeble him, get rid of that 30 damage, and it makes CSing a little bit more difficult for that Clockwork in that offlane role. So the lanes are looking a little bit more solidified here for both teams. Clockwork in the offlane for 4 Clovers, Shadow Fiend in the mid lane, and obviously the Ember Spirit in the safe lane. So 4 Clovers looking for another support to work with, whereas for No Logic, Slardar in the safe lane, Tusk in the offlane, Lich can be moving into the, I presume into the offlane with the Tusk as well, unless they're looking for a bit of a weaker mid, then you can rotate the Lich in there to help. Bane, I presume, is going to be with the Slardar. So this last pick for No Logic, it needs to be a mid hero, unless they do something quirky, for example, put the Slardar in the mid lane. There is still an Alchemist in the pool though. if No Logic does want to go for a bit of a greedy route. And Alchemist does fare pretty well up against a Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend can't really stand under the acid spray. So for No Logic, do they decide to go for the Alchemist? Do they go for something a little bit more quirky? What do they want to go for? But for 4 Clovers, they need a support. Honestly, with what No Logic currently has, I think they could possibly get away with potentially a Winter Wyvern. Winter Wyvern, you have the AoE disable. So if Starter and Tusk come in a little bit too close, then you can get the Winter's Curse off. And because obviously Tusk is going to be snowballing all the time, it makes it much easier to get the curses off. Starter does physical damage as well, so Tusk does to a certain degree too, so you can cold embrace your allies to keep them alive. Very defensive though if you go for the Wyvern, considering they do have the Dazzle already. So maybe they go for something like, maybe they can go back and pick up a Rubik. Rubik a little bit defensive as well, but with the spells available for him, there's a lot of stuff that he can steal. In particular, you want to be looking for possibly an amplified damage from the Slaughter, maybe a Fiend's Grip for the main. If you can, try and get Chain Frost from the Lich, or maybe even something from the Tusk. Unless 4 Clovers wants to be a little bit more aggressive, they could, if they really, really wanted to, maybe go for the Spirit Breaker. The vision will be nice, but I think 4 Clovers might be playing a little bit more passively compared to No Logic. But again, it's up to them depending on what the final support is going to be. So Viper is the final ban for 4 Clovers, and No Logic are going to ban out the Night Stalker. Night Stalker would have been a great hero actually. Tanky, melee, silence works well against a lot of all the No Logic heroes. So 30 seconds left on the clock. What are we going to be seeing for the dire side? What is this mid hero? And we might see an unconventional. We could maybe even see a Razor mid here for No Logic. Razor would be okay, not amazing against the Shadow Fiend, but at least he'd be able to survive and be a mech carrier for No Logic. Then maybe they can go for that 5-man push. But instead they're going to go back for the Tiny. Alright then, so Tiny mid lane with the Lich, unless it's supposed to be a Slaughter or a Tusk mid. It's quite strange though, because I very rarely see Tiny mids without Wisp. So okay, well, I could deal with this, it's fine, I got no issues. I love watching Tiny, so seeing Tiny without a Wisp is great too. Thank you No Logic, I'm going to be looking forward to this game. Before Clover's final support, they could also go for a Scarith Mage if they want to. Synergizes well with the Clockwork, but it's a very easy target to get picked off if he does get jumped on or even snowballed on. So what's his final support pickup here for 4 Clovers? Because honestly, there's no other hero in their draft here that can be a support aside from Dazzle. So this is a guaranteed support for 4 Clovers. What are they looking for? Elder Titan. Oh, I'm fully on board with this hero pick. And we haven't seen Elder Titan for quite a while. I think we saw him at Nanyang. Yeah, we definitely saw Elder Titan at Nanyang. I remember casters going all over buttload crazy over the Elder Titan pick, but yeah, I can get on board with this. And with the setup potential as well, Elder Titan, it's going to force No Logic Gaming to be a little bit more careful when it comes to initiation, because if you get caught in a Echo Stomp, the sleep duration is huge, and it could be enough setup honestly for 4 Clovers to grab the kills that they want. So guys, this is our second game between No Logic Gaming versus 4 Clovers and Leprechauns. 4 Clovers have managed to secure their first win, as you can see on the board up here. We'll see if No Logic is able to even this out in a 1-2-1 situation. So let's start up with No Logic playing on the Dire Squad for today. We've got Garda handling the Slaughter. Moving towards the middle section here, we've got Excalibur playing on, I presume, a pure Tiny, not our Tiny hybrid from the previous game. Rule Yourself on our Tusk. We've got Milan on our Bane. And finally towards the bottom, we might have some action here as our poor Lich, our Slobodny Jetnik. This is probably the weirdest pronouncing name I've seen, but I guess it's just a European name because I'm so used to Asian names. But yeah, we'll just call him Slobodny. Anyways, so 4 Clovers, I had somebody help me on Twitter. Thank you so much again for letting me know. So I managed to find out who these players are. So Peanut Warrior, I presume, or this is what I suspect it was. It is Sexy Bamboo playing on our Clockwork. Elder Titan will be played by Saxa. I'm pretty sure that was a pronunciation, Saxa. If I'm mistaken, I'm so sorry. I tried my best. Pycat playing on the Shadow Fiend, EGM playing on the Dazzle, and finally we've got one missing here. We've got Nikwa playing on our Ember Spirit in the safe lane. So sucks. So just going to kind of help in the mid lane, get that little creep block there for Pycat, just to make it a little bit easier. Bane sitting on the high ground though. He's got an Observer Ward ready, so he will plop that down at a more reasonable timing, but I think he's looking for the courier at this point. Just wants to get that kill on the courier before the bottle comes out on the Shadow Fiend to make that mid much easier for Excalibur on this Tiny. Because Tiny mid, if you're going up against two, it's really not going to be favourable. And for 4 Clovers, they're already respecting the Tiny pick. They know what Tiny can do, and they say, okay, time to respect this Tiny, make sure he doesn't get the CS necessary, and that we make his life all hell. And it's going to be a bit of an issue here for Excalibur, but he should be able to deal with this. We go for a bit of an avalanche harassment here, but nothing too big yet. We will take a look after a while. For the moment though, it is a solo offlane Lich. For the moment, is this really what's happening for No Logic? Oh, in the mid lane though, looks like Excalibur trying to go for a toss on the Saxter. Can he actually man fight him? In the meantime, Tower working in his favour. He does get it. Raze in the meantime will clip him in the backside. But Excalibur still drew first blood. So still a bit of a win there for our little Rocky man. But he is going to be stuck in the fountain for the next 3 seconds. But he's still going to be glad he was able to get that little bit of a win. Getting that first blood. But Pycat though, still gonna be happy that he got the kill in the process. As long as he didn't die, it's still fine. EG, I'm gonna spot out the pesky little Lich that's come out of lane. Really surprised though that No Logic Gaming have decided to just put this Lich in the bottom lane. I thought they would have even attempted to go for a dual lane here. Just put the Lich down here with the Slardar and even contest with Nikwa on the Ember Spirit, but it just doesn't seem to be. He does take the regeneration rune right from the Dazzle's nose though, and in the middle lane, are they going to try and jump on Excalibur again? No, not yet. They're keeping an eye on him. They're dropping him low. They want him low, and he does go for Avalanche. Toss back into the creep wave, and the towers are going to be there. He dies unfortunately, but the snowball from Rule Yourself is going to pick him off. Nice play coming out from the Tusk to get the counter kill, but it was after Excalibur died. So all in all, not really the best trade for No Logic Gaming. Essentially it's even, but for them, they're hoping to get the kill before they lose their heroes. So for Excalibur, the idea is there. It's just unfortunately it's not really able to execute 100% the way he wants it to. Because even towers don't like heroes for some reason, and towers a little bit jealous that Tiny's able to walk and that the towers don't have feet. So we're saying, you'll rue the day that you grew feet, Tiny. You'll rue the day. And all Tiny can do is say, I'm sorry, brother. And that's it. But this is still very, very curious. And rue yourself. He tried to jump in, it seems, but these heroes are a little bit too tanky for their liking. I'm seriously really shocked about this bottom lane. They're just leaving the Lich down here. He's sacrificing, which is great. Denying a little bit of EXP to Nikwa. Not completely shutting him down though. They could honestly have a hero capitalizing on this lane, but it just doesn't seem to be. So for No Logic, they better have a plan B if this doesn't work, because honestly, they could just put the Tusk down here and I think they would be golden. Put the Tusk down there, help out the Lich. You can compete versus a Dazzle and a Ember Spirit. They have enough magical damage between the both of them. And in the mid lane, Excalibur finally gets a kill on the Shadow Fiend. He does, with the help of Rule Yourself. So Excalibur finally succeeded in his first kill survival, where Saksha going to continue on. Nope, he sees Rule Yourself, but Rule Yourself. But unable to really do anything as an Elder Titan. Unfortunately, Elder Titan, not like one of those standard lane supports where you're able to just throw down a normal stun. You kind of just Echo Stomp. It's just very different overall. So it looks like EGM rotated into the middle lane. Not too sure what it was hoping to achieve, but he was in there for a little bit. So this does open that bottom lane to the Lich. Now the one advantage though is putting the Lich down here for so long is he's going to hit a relatively early level 6. And early level 6 on the Lich means that he's going to have that Chain Frost up sooner than he typically would. And is this the opening that No Logic is looking for? Have the Lich get that surprise 6? Toss onto the Shadow Fiend just to throw a bit of harassment, but is that the plan with the Lich? Get those levels, get the nukes up, and maybe have that Lich just be that pillar for Tusk to kind of lean back on? Because that's very, very peculiar, let's be honest. It's strange. It's different. It's uncharacteristic. It's old. This is a very, very old strategy to put the Lich by himself in the off lane. because he doesn't provide the same thing that the typical offlanes do nowadays. Like typically it's an Earthshaker, a Tusk, heroes that are able to really be tanky as the game progresses and able to capitalize on gold by turning it into item advantages, initiations, helping your team out with survival, things like that. Lich gives you armor, and that's it. So offlane Lich, we'll see if Slobodny is able to exceed my expectations. He has plans. He has lots of plans. Just take a look at that Lich face. You know this guy has plans. He's even walking like a swagger man. We'll see if he does. Will he exceed my expectations? We'll have to see. In the meantime, though, so we still have Pycat farming away in the jungle. It seems taken both stacks so far, and he has a bottle coming through. Yes, that's his, as well as his treads. So he will be having that Excalibur, though. He will get the bounty rune in the process, so Peanut, Bamboo, not really able to deny that, but they're going to chase after Excalibur. Now, he does not have anything except for a toss available. We're going to toss him back, an EGM. They still have vision. One more right click, not enough. The bottle charges are going to be enough. Oh, they ran out. They will throw a stun onto EGM, and now all of a sudden, Snowball connects onto EGM. Now the Dazzle's overextended. Nothing to cancel, though, so unfortunately, he will get out with the Grave. Oh, that was a very, very missed kill opportunity. Both Excalibur as well as the Dazzle getting out. Not really what you want to be if you're no logic hoping to grab a kill, but what the hey. And we have a disconnect as the Bane leaves the game. Well, I guess he's technically sleeping, so that's absolutely fine. It's fine. I can't help but feel like the Dota 2 world, if someone logs out of a Dota 2 game, it's going to be similar to Ark. For people that don't know Ark, it's like a dinosaur survival game, and if you log out, your character still remains in the world, but you're unconscious. You're in a coma. You never wake up until your character or you log back into your account. So I feel like that might be the same with the Dota 2 universe. Because obviously the heroes go back to Fountain, they probably just have a bit of a nap, and then someone else kind of just like controls them. Sleepwalking, it's okay. Just sleepwalk. Control my hero. It's fine. It's fine. So current gold for both teams. We're about 6 minutes and 39 seconds into the game, and we have our Clockwork leading when it comes to current gold. And typically with Clockworks, just going to be going for things like, yeah, he'll normally go for things like Blade Mail first. So expect the Bamboo to go for that, unless he goes for something different, uncharacteristic. Who knows? Maybe he does something strange that I have no idea about, because I know he loves doing all sorts of shenanigans. Going to TP in, though. Now, this could be a potential trap. Rue is going to come in. Snowball is there if they do want to go for it. Waiting for the cogs to expire first. Guard in position to go for the Crush. Crush is there. Snowball too. And they should finish up Bamboo. Just TP'd in and dies. Cancel the TP from the teammates as well. And looks like Neekwood almost died to the Lich, it seems. Was that Chain Frost? It was. Tried to go for the solo kill. Oh, how good would that have been if he got the solo kill with the Chain Frost? Neekwood gets out with a sliver of HP. Mid lane though looks like no one trying to go for any sort of jump. EGM trying to run away. Ice Shard's completely missed, so a little bit off the mark. And we have Pycat. He wants to kill off Slobodny. He wants to say hello, buddy. Off lane Lich. Couple of raises will finish him off. Oh, a little bit more. 8 HP, 9 HP gets... Okay, that was not melee. How in hell was that melee range? 128 range, and he hit him as if he was a ranged hero. That's just not right. That's not right. Elder Titan, I know you like holding your briefcase, but come on. Oh, Rue yourself. You just ran into Nikwa as well as Saxa. We'll keep on committing though, but can he get the kill in the process? Gonna try and delay it with the snowball for as long as possible, hoping to get the duration down on the shards, but Rue yourself, unfortunately, gonna just kind of leave himself as he goes down. So not expecting the remnant to come back. Unfortunate, but it happens. And Milan, Nightmare is there, Garda in position, Crush is there, Brain Snap gonna finish him off? Nope, one more right click from Garda is gonna finish him off. So that's a 1-for-1 trade Tusk for a Clockwork. Obviously Clockwork more valuable as he is in the offlane role. And Slobodny still doing Lich things in this offlane, taking a little bit of harassment, does not get caught in the echo, but still being a pain in the butt when it comes to sitting in this offlane. He's got braces, or a bracer. So he's got a lot of items his way, and we almost have that Blink Dagger on the starter, so no logic. This could be an opening for them to potentially go for a lot more kills than they currently have, because the Tiny isn't going to be too close to his possibly 16 to 18 minutes for Excalibur to pick up a Blink Dagger, unless he's going for just an Ags. But because it's a mid Tiny, you have to assume he has to go for the utility item first. He needs to help the team before he commits to 100% farming. So for the moment, let's just assume Excalibur is going to be picking up a Blink Dagger sometime down the line. Overall net worth though, it is our Shadow Fiend in the lead, our Pycat. Got a lot of farm and also being healed up by the Dazzle as well. And he only has treads for the moment, sitting on a nice pile of gold himself. Lich gets the Ember Spirit kill. Was that with the Chain Frost? Was that with the Chain? Yes, that was the Chain Frost kill. So Lich finally succeeds. Mission success. Mission success for Lich. So I'm expecting this Lich to somehow just get constant pickoffs on this Ember Spirit now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Not expecting stuff like that, but come on. Isn't that amusing? It's new, it's different, it's fresh. It's like orange juice, except juice is much fresher than getting killed by a Chain Frost. Rule yourself, they're looking for an opportunity, but look at the positioning here on everyone on 4 clovers. Bamboo just sitting on the complete opposite side of the lane, does not want to get jumped on. They will toss creeps though, and this is going to be a nuisance. Put a sentry ward down, but there's no vision, or just high ground vision. So Excalibur, as well as Rule Yourself, going to back up at this point. Lich still doing his own things. God, I can't stop watching this Lich do. It's just so strange. It's different. I gotta stop now. Need to stop. But at the moment though, it's looking pretty good here for No Logic though. Even though the Shadow Fiend is on top when it comes to net worth, the rest of the cores on the side of No Logic are 3rd, 4th and 5th. So it means that the other core in 4 clovers, which is the Ember Spirit, is not doing as well as he would like to. He's got some decent CS at 44 CS to 11 denies, but he's still behind. Nico would obviously like to be in a better position because Tiny has gotten kills because he was in the mid lane, whereas for Nico, he got a assist, but is that really enough? And the answer is going to be no. So we have No Logic, going to try and go for another kill. Now can they find Bamboo? Are they going to find Nico? We'll see who they find out first. They're going to have to spot something else. Do they know Peanuts here? Straight onto Nico. Immediately melted, although Bamboo doesn't want to be there. Fiend's Grip. Oh, that's cancelled unfortunately. So Milan does heal back up, tosses there. Kill up the Shadow Fiend. No, still alive, but he ends up going down shortly. Will go down with Excalibur though. So 3 for 2 trade. Garter. He's looking for the opening, does not get the crush off. He gets the amp damage though, being chased by creeps. Stun's going to be there, cancels it halfway through, and Garter. No blink for 5 seconds. It would be a bit of an overextension, and there is EGM just around the corner. They could actually pick off EGM if he's not careful, but the creeps consistently showing off their location. So it's going to be no more initiation here, unfortunately, for No Logic. EGM, they're thinking about it, but God, Rule Yourself. If he was there, he would have gotten picked off. He's still farming in the jungle. Oh, goodness. So we're at 13 minutes into the game so far. Look at the graphs. 4 clovers, they had their lead. Now it's dropping in favor of No Logic because they were able to get a very successful gank off. And this is a position that 4 clovers doesn't want to be in. You're going up against a Tiny and a Slaughter, a hero combo that is going to scale earlier and also later as the game progresses because of that minus armor. So for 4 clovers, they need to get this Ember Spirit up as quickly as possible. And Pycat's going to try and do that. He is going to try and be that pillar for the Ember Spirit to stand on. It's just that, can Niqua come online quick enough? Because he just doesn't really see any openings in these lanes. He's consistently scared for his life. Going to try and jump into Milan though, but this is a Bane. This guy heals himself. Oh, hookshot completely with Sneakwa going to get caught out with Excalibur coming in and Garter with the crush, the amp. They will heal him up though, as well as the Grave. He's actually at half HP. And this is a mistake from No Logic Gaming, although they will be able to get Niqua up. No, he did get up in time. A little bit too early. He gets picked off by the Lich. And everyone is still alive on No Logic. Up in the high ground, they jump onto Suction, not able to really do enough damage. And Garter, chased up by the Shadow. No. Bane luckily able to finish off the Elder Titan. Excalibur in the backlines, kind of looking for a target as well, and it looks like Pycat's going to be the next one to come as soon as they can get within range and they can see him, but it looks like he's going to be able to get out. 2 dead, and that was all for nothing, unfortunately. Eye shots way off the mark too, although they see someone else and they have Oh god, EGM and Bamboo, can they jump on them? They have vision, and EGM has vision, but they're not really going to proceed, it seems. So all in all, not a win for Four Clovers. They're losing momentum of this game, and losing the Ember Spirit there as well. They can't afford to lose Nikwa. They have vision of Nikwa. He could get jumped on. Oh, the snowball is there. They just need Nightmare. If they get Nightmare set up, that's it. Or just a Fiend's Grip and the Lich ult and a punch. Oh my god, that's not what you want as an Ember Spirit. There's no space left on the map for Nikwa. Yeah, they're pinging out the Observer Ward. They have to assume that there's an Observer Ward there. How they have vision? So Peanut, oh Bamboo, rest in pieces Bamboo. He died a very valiant death in that offlane. 14 minutes into the game, but it's another kill going in the way of No Logic Gaming. So it's a matter of momentum. No Logic, they're holding the momentum of the game currently, and for Four Clovers, they have initiation, which is great, but they're just really not able to get their foot right on top of from No Logic. They've got so much initiation in a Tusk, in a Slaughter, in also a Tiny, that once Four Clovers goes in for their own initiation, No Logic can kind of go for a secondary initiation with their other heroes. The Crushes, the Blinks, the Stuns, Disables, and in the mid lane, oh, they spot Pycat. The Disable actually is going to be connecting onto Garda. They're going to wait for the full duration of the ETL. It will slow them down. Their Crushes, their Amp as well, and looks like they're going to try and finish off Saxtra here, but they will have to send Pycat on his way. Oh my god, the nukes from this Lich, just melting down this Elder Titan. This Elder Titan pick has not gone in the way of Four Clovers, and all of a sudden we have our Peanut warrior, our Bamboo. Bamboo is not Peanuts, but it doesn't really matter. They're going to try and man fight Rue yourself. Oh, Excalibur sees him, melts down our Bamboo, and Pycat's going to have to get out of there by himself. It's actually they're with Nikwa, but Nikwa wouldn't really want to go in there anyway. But they're just getting picked off left, right, and center, and it's just because there's so much vision for No Logic. There's high ground vision here, which gives them a lot of access around this section. They're going to spot everything. There's no wards here anymore as it was dewarded. But for Four Clovers, they need to get map control back on their side of the game. So they're going to have to grab something like a gem. Is there a gem being picked up, or sentries at least? They got sentries. So that's going to be a step in the right direction. But yeah, Four Clovers need map control back. So they need to get these wards taken down. Unfortunately, they're taken down after the kills happen. But how are you going to know they're there if you never know that they have vision of that area? So the advantage still going down, down, down for No Logic. And it looks like it might just continue on going down as we have another rotation. Bane and Tusk putting wards down, spotted. They are going to be able to catch Rue yourself. Then Lich comes in with the armor. Requiem pop just around the tree line. Snowball keeps him alive for that little bit longer though. Going to go straight onto Nikwa. Rue yourself is dead. He is dead. Nice pickup for Four Clovers. It's a single hero pickoff though, and it was also with the cost of a Requiem. So very, very costly pickoff. But I think for now, Four Clovers, they're going to have to commit a lot to getting these hero pickoffs because they can't afford to fight No Logic. Seriously, they cannot afford to fight them at all. They're at such a disadvantage through levels. Look in particular, the levels on Four Clovers are... The discrepancy is huge. You've got 3 heroes at level 8, including your position 1. Your highest level is your Shadow Fiend, who Pycat's doing an incredible job, honestly. He's doing a very good job staying ahead in farm, staying ahead in levels. But it's going to come to a point where a Shadow Fiend's not going to be able to out-carry this much. He can't out-carry a Slaughter and a Tiny. The Ember Spirit's going to have to come online eventually. And the way that Nikwa is right now, he's being strangled. He cannot get farm, and he has to have someone consistently babysitting him. And if he dies, typically the partner dies as well. So for No Logic, they're playing this game very, very well. They're suffocating Four Clovers from getting any farm. Their heroes can't come online. They still have to deal with the Shadow Fiend. So this is where Pycat is going to be very crucial in keeping Four Clovers in the game. If he can maintain if he can maintain just being that monstrosity on the map, doing a lot of damage and having a lot of net worth, and even having a lot of items, that might be enough for them to stay in the game. Just buy time for the Ember Spirit. That is all they need to do with Pycat. Just make sure that Nikwa comes online eventually, because right now, as we said, he is redundant. He is seriously redundant. They spot him out as well, so rule yourself as well as our Lich. Fiend's Grip coming out from the Bane, catching out Nikwa. Can he get on time? Oh, not quite enough. Crash isn't there. Garda going to continue on chasing, but he will back out as they realize the rest of Four Clovers were on the high ground. They could have committed if they wanted to, but would have been very risky. Double damage onto Pycat. Gonna run out of there. Does not want to hang around for too long as there are heroes converging on their location. But it looks like everyone's just gonna disengage. No one wants to be anywhere near those heroes. So we're about 20 minutes into the game almost. Yours almost done on our Elder Titan. So this is going to be some nice setup for the Elder Titan when it comes to those 5-second echo stomps. Nothing really much on Nico. He's just finished up the drums. He's trying to be cost efficient at this point. Question is, does he still go for those Boots of Travels, or does he change it up and go straight for the Battle Fury? He can go for Boots of Travels, but it's not giving him extra stats. He can farm all over the map, but No Logic have been so good at sniffing him out and chasing him down. It is ridiculous. Pycat gonna go for a Shadow Blade. So is this gonna be the item that brings 4 Clovers back into the game? Is Pycat going to be able to bring it back? We'll see if he can. But Roshan will be taken very shortly by No Logic. And obviously with the Sparta, this is gonna go very quickly. And I think at this point 4 Clovers can't really contest. They're gonna use this time to get Niqua as much farm as possible, and Elder Titan, even Saksha in the top lane. Just gonna keep on farming as well. Gonna TP out as well, just in case he gets picked off. Actually, they want to try and go into the Roche. Roche is only half HP. This could be the opportunity that they're after. Nick, we're gonna kind of show his face. They will spot him out with the rocket vision. And Garda trying to get out of there. Roche is pretty low. I think this is just enough to discourage them. The ET Spirit gonna keep on chasing them out. Although we could see a jump. Oh, Bamboo could get caught out. Oh, they got 2 Niqua as well as Saksha. That's not what you want. They lose 1, they lose 2, but here comes our Peanut, our Bamboo. But the Snowball going to delay it for as long as possible, and all of a sudden Bamboo melts. Can Pycat finish us off, though? He needs to take the heroes down, and it looks like they've almost done it. They've only got 1 more left, but it's Garda who survived. 3 heroes for 2. Sorry. 3 heroes for 4. Forces 2 buybacks out. No Logic will secure the Roche, but at a very heavy cost. So for 4 Clovers, it was essentially a massive win. They still have to deal with the Roche, but for them, oh, this could be a very risky play. They should have seen this coming. No? The Shadow Blade's going to run out. Pycat has to make a decision. Can he get it in time? Can he get there in time? It's run out. They see him. He gets the Aegis. No, he gets the Aegis. Pycat steals the Aegis. He will come back. Nico's going to help him clear everything up. So Excalibur goes down. Snowball's going to be there. Connects to the Ember Spirit. No, he will get connected in the meantime. The steal from Pycat. Recovering everything. He timed the Shadow Blade so perfectly. And No Logic, because he was sitting right on top of the Roche, they weren't able to really target him down. And they're going to get a secondary kill, consolation prize in the Bane as well. Oh, what a play. Pycat steal. Just sitting right under the Roche. So clutch. What a player. What an absolute player. Completely redeeming his team. We didn't even get to see the net worth change either. We can take a look at it in the graph on a moment, but I'm so sorry, guys. Oh my god. The Aegis. I'm trying not to wake my neighbors right now, so I would have been more excited, but I'm being nice here. I'm being nice to my neighbors. God, what a steal though. And all of a sudden, oh my goodness. Okay, look at the graph. Look at this graph. It's going all the way up. Holy Jesus. I think we hit land. We hit land, girls and boys. We are out of the Bermuda Triangle. We are on land. Oh my goodness. 4 Clovers are back in this. And because of that fight, lots of gold on Ember Spirit, suddenly picking up Boots of Travels with 1k gold on top of him. Nico is suddenly looking like he's in a pretty good position now. And for No Logic, that loss at the Roshan fight, at the Roche pit, hit them much harder than it typically would, because they brought back 2 heroes. They brought back their Tusk as well as their Tiny to secure that Roche, didn't even get it, and they lost their lives in the process. So for No Logic, that hit them much harder than it typically would have. So rule yourself. I keep saying rue because it's a sort of way to say revenge, but gonna see if he can find anything. But in the meantime, though, gonna keep looking. Although Saksha might run into him, though. Can try and go for a wraparound? No? Nope, doesn't look like it. So current gold, 2.3k gold on the Tiny. I wonder what Excalibur's going to go for next. Oh, never mind. Why am I asking that? It's a Tiny. He's going to go for Ags next. Normally. Duh, who doesn't? And the initiation here from Saksha. Stuns there, 5 seconds. And the setup here from... Did they just... Oh, never mind, that's Excalibur. For some reason I thought the Tiny was on 4 Clover, so I was like, why would you toss him out? And all of a sudden, Garda gets a 2-man crush. Ryoself, the grip is on to Nikwa. The rest of his team, though, they're going to actually cancel this. He's taking a lot of damage. He does get it cancelled. And the Cogs from Bamboo catches 2. 3 heroes dead for no logic. Garda trying to come in to save the game, though. And unfortunately, the Lich unable to get the successful Chain Frost. And Saksha coming in. Can they finish Garda off, though? He's pretty low. EGM. He's there, crush onto EG. I'm going to try and finish off our Dazzle, but it doesn't seem to be quite enough. In the meantime, Lich kicks off 2, Ember Spirit and the Clockwork. This guy has a lot of gold. In the meantime, though, our Shadow Fiend has come through on the backside, killed off Slardar, and they're going to be looking for this Lich as well. And EGM, he spots him out, pops him with the Weave. They don't actually get him with the Slow, though, so this Lich may get out unless Pycat spots him. Or isn't even going to bother unless he turns. EGM could die. He's got Grave available. We'll prop it. Go straight for a TP. No way to cancel without a ult there for the Lich. So 3 heroes lost for 2. I think there was a lot more than that, but we didn't really get to see that unless Pycat. Oh, he sees him. Raise 1, raise 2, 4 stuff. He's out of there. So Shadow Fiend, Pycat, not able to get the kill onto the Lich, but because it's an off-lane Lich who has farm, a little bit more elusive than the Liches that you're typically used to. But there's a lot of gold now, both on the Lich as well as the Shadow Fiend. And because of this, I wonder if he's going to go straight for an Aghanims now. Aghanims would make the Lich a lot more lethal in the fights. It forces 4 Clovers to spread, and that's what No Logic wants. They want the heroes to spread. They want to take them out one by one. If 4 Clovers fight together, they are incredibly, incredibly powerful. You never want them together. So for No Logic, what do they pick up on the Lich? If they really don't want to go for the Ags, they could potentially go for something along the lines of a Scythe of Ice. Because we've seen No Logic, they have some nice disables, but they don't really have enough to deal with 4 Clovers. They don't have enough to deal with Pycat because, yeah, they can stun a couple of heroes, but Pycat always comes in from the end. They need something to lock him down, so in the meantime, Rule Yourself gonna just kind of wander right next to Pycat. Not too sure if you want to do that. That was all the damage you took from 1 hit. 1 hit. That is huge. Takes about 250 damage from 1 right click, but Excalibur has the... He has the Aghanims. But it's a little bit late though. A little bit late for the Tiny. So Excalibur still can come online. He can still become that really big late game Tiny. But is it going to be enough? With the Slardar, it should be okay because Garda will amplify the damage. The thing is though, at this point, they just need to make sure that the Tiny survives now. Because we've seen there's been a lot of disruption on 4 Clovers. They've got armor reduction. They have clogs. They've got hook shots, they've got chains, there's a lot of disables, and because there's no BKB picked up onto Excalibur, he's very vulnerable to getting disabled. He's still not tanky. And because there's no Wisp, he doesn't have the same effective HP as he typically would. So here we go, wrap around Pycat, we'll see everyone. There's no detection though, and they're going to go right after the tusk. So he goes down, Excalibur gets caught out by our lovely little Peanut here. So Excalibur down the drain, and the GG is going to be called here by No Logic Gaming. 4 Clovers. Securing this series in a 2-0 win with what seemed to be an absolute disastrous early game for 4 Clovers, able to reclaim everything after a beautiful Roche Pit fight. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that series as much as I did. This concludes the best of 2 between 4 Clovers and No Logic Gaming as well. So we have one more best of 2 for you in Europe before it is supposed to be NA after this. So in about 24 minutes we have No Logic Gaming playing again, but this time they're going to be playing up against Goomba. So if you guys want to stick around, definitely do so. I'll be casting that as well since nobody wants to help me unless there is someone scheduled to co-cast with me. I don't think there is anybody. I can take a look. I think Mike Loris said he might, but it depends if he's on the schedule. He's doing a lot of... Yeah, I think it's going to be me. Yes, I think it's going to be me unless Grandis manages to finish off his series. But for the moment, let's just assume that it's only going to be me. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this series. And I'll see you in roughly... God, I said it just now. In roughly 20 minutes for No Logic Gaming versus Goomba. If you guys want to give me a follow on my Twitter page, please do so at DanielleCast, top right hand corner. Give me feedback, say hello, say hi. I'm friendly, I promise. I won't bite. You'll just hear me complaining about coffee because that stuff tastes like shit. But I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. GG, well played. and bye bye.